Hi, I'm Miss Dara from the Rogers Public Library, and today we are doing Design with Miss Dara. And so we have talked about the elements of art, which are line, shape, color, value, texture, space, and form. And then we talked about the principles of design: balance, contrast, emphasis, pattern, unity, movement, and rhythm. But now we are going to talk about contemporary elements of art. So they're not your traditional elements of art, but they're a little bit different. They're stuff that are used today, and we're not going to go through all of them, but we're just going to pick out a few the next few weeks. So the one that we are doing today is going to be performance. So performance art is kind of like process art, is another way that we talk about that, but it's artwork that's created by or presented to an audience, or it's the process that you use to create a work. So if you are working on something, you're not really trying to get an end result so much as you're trying to enjoy the process of creating the art. Or you can do something kind of as a show to create art. And one example of that would be creating a big painting using the balloons tied to it, and you throw darts at it. That would be process art. You're not going to come up with an awesome painting, but it's a really fun way to create art. So the way that we're going to do that one today is through salt painting. So in your packet that you can pick up at the library, there are 2 paper plates and a bag of salt. There's a pipette, and there's a bottle of glue. One thing that I did not include is you're going to need some cups for water, and you're also going to need food coloring. And so I just am going to use these little food coloring here, and you just drop some in each one, however much you want in, so that you can get the darkness that you want. So let me do this. Let's put a little bit more in that one. I want it to be really yellow. And some green. For some reason, green is the one I always get on me, and it stains the worst of any color. Not sure why. Okay, so when you're stirring them, I'm just going to stir with my pipette. Start with your color that is the least dark. So you can pull it up and it's nice yellow. And then let's do the red next. That's a good red. And then the green. And the blue. The blue is pretty much the darkest. Okay, so we're going to just set that out of the way. And you can pick between your 2 kinds of plates. We're going to use the orange one first here. And out of your bag, there is just a bottle of Elmer's school glue here. You can use any kind of glue. It doesn't have to be Elmer's, but the ones I had on hand were Elmer's glue. So here we go. So you just make a design, and you can actually create art, or you can do what I'm doing on this one, which is just scribbling. So I just created me a design. And then you take your salt and just sprinkle it on. So you have a bag of salt in your packet. If you run out of salt, it's just regular salt, regular table salt. And I'm putting an awful lot on this one. You don't have to use as much as I just did. Because once it's done, you just shake it back into until you have this salt covered piece of art. And as you notice, all of my table, it has salt now, but that's okay. I'm actually going to dump this upside down. Shake it really good. Then I can use my other one to dump into the bag. Okay, so that there is my salt covered art. And so then you just get some food coloring and start dripping it on wherever you want it to be. This is a fun project that you can do with any age. It's fun for adults. It's fun for kids. And if you notice, my red isn't very dark. So you can always just add some more food coloring to your thing. Make your color a little bit more intense, but try not to get the food coloring on you or the table. If you notice, I put down something on my table so that I don't get it actually on the table. There we go. That's a little bit darker. So you just drip it on here. Make sure you don't put too much, because if you put too much on here, then it's not going to absorb in and you'll have liquid just running all over the place. And that's not very fun. So you just cover all of the white with color. And it'll kind of ooze out a little bit so that it covers more. And I have a really fun art. So this is what it looks like now. If you leave that overnight and let it dry, it doesn't end up very good. So this is one I did last night. And as you see, a lot of the salt has actually come off of it. And the parts that's still on there, like, they break off really easy. So it's not an artwork that you can keep because it doesn't really look great the next day. So, but it's fun to do while you're doing it. It's very relaxing. So here's one I did yesterday on the white. I created a kind of spider web. So let's color that. Let's do a green spider. And so you can let it dry and then color it, or you can color it while it's wet. It doesn't really matter. Either way you want to do it. My yellow and green mixed a little bit, and so it started with this really nice yellow, and then now it's like a lime green. That's kind of interesting. A little bit more yellow. Just make sure you don't put on too much, or else it does not end up good. And be careful, if you let it dry first, that you don't touch it, because if you touch it, that's already hard and brittle and it will just all break to pieces. All right, so there's my spider web, which ended up really cool. All right, so guys, just have fun with it and enjoy yourself. And that is salt painting. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.